Y'all know what it is, and y'all know who I'm is. No, seriously. This is your boy Cool McCain. I'm kicking off another live episode of the place you want to be on Wednesday nights to interactive talk about our Philadelphia Eagles, the best team in the NFL. That's undisputed. The record speaks for itself. But I'm not one of those guys that's, oh, we 71, so we the greatest team and we don't have anything that needs to be fixed. Oh no, there's concerns. There's a lot of concerns. But not only myself, but several of you in the Eagles Nation, in the galaxy, the universe, the Milky Way, whatever you want to call it, the Bird Gang, all that, have concerns about this team and key positions and some things that we hoped we may address in free agency. But if we being honest, there's only so much you're gonna be able to do like in free agency. There's only so much you're gonna be able to do in trades because teams have to be willing to trade with you. But at the end of the day, I believe the roster that we have right now, especially when we get a few people back who we will talk about, it's good enough to do what we need to do. It's good enough for us to hashtag finish our story. And only one way to finish that story. And that's that chip that evaded us last year. So we on the path. We on the way. It's just a matter of finishing off strong. Speaking of that, this week. Oh, this week is a good one. Oh, we got that dirty Arlington football team. And we going to give them that work. My hope. And when I say that work, I just mean we need to win by at least one. That's all it takes. A lot more that we're going to discuss. But before we do that, the squad got to get in here. Wyatt, what up, man?
What's happening, everybody? Eagles top of the NFL, like you said, flying high this week into one of the biggest games. I mean, not just of the year, just, it's a huge division rival. This is one we've been waiting for ever since the season started.
Mm-hmm. Just to want to give the face all day. That's how I'm thinking.
Mean mugging.
Diva, what it do?
What it do, y'all? We 7-1, the only team in the NFL with a 7-1 record. Let me tell you, that beginning was not pretty, but that ending was how we wanted it. Let's go. Let's get into
it.
E Money, what it do, my brother? Yo, E Money was on my stream earlier on the 7200 seconds where I guessed it on. I went ahead and streamed it over here, so our people could hop on and check it out. E Money was on there as well, man. So appreciate you for hopping on, big dog. Always love the chat, man. And hey, hang around as long as you want. Let's talk Eagles. But I mean, before we do this, we gotta do this right today. Because your boy, sometimes I be getting hyped and I be getting out of order and I'll be getting everything done. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. But today we gonna handle it properly until I get to the point where I need to really go off script. So we got to get the intro. We got to get things going right. It's time for y'all to get that 47 seconds of fire. Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick is, it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with a win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with a win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
Warms my heart, like hearing that, y'all. They give me hype, like seeing that. But hey, it's time to get into it. We got another comment, and then we about to dig into it. So y'all know who slid through in the scene. Philly, what up? So y'all got a lot of news. A lot of good things happen. Why I know you ready with it. So talk to us, man. Let everybody know what we got going on.
Yeah, I mean, as everybody knows, the trade deadline is coming up. We already made a huge move last week with getting Kevin Byard and everything. other than that, been pretty quiet as far as that goes. We did make one more trade. Wasn't for any players or anything. We did give up a player though. We traded Contavious Street and a 2025 7th round pick to the Atlanta Falcons for a 2024 6th round pick, pretty much recouping one of those picks we traded for Kevin Byard, which is not bad. You know, how he just out here making moves, looking ahead for the future draft.
When I saw this trade, you know what I thought? We traded who? For what?
Exactly. It's like Howie somehow making something out of nothing. I don't understand it.
Literally something out of nothing. Diva,
Yeah.
you look like you got something you want to say. You just look like you got something you want to say.
No, I mean Howie making Howie moves. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. You know, we still got little areas that we need to clean up, but we're not gonna clean that all up by the trade deadline.
Right.
So he thought ahead of time. So when we get to the draft, then he already know. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he did what he did. So
Yeah. I think he kind of showed his hand and finessed a little early, because I don't know if because I know that he was out there trying to possibly get a linebacker and some other help. But, you know, I think that Kevin Byard trade kind of turned a lot of other GMs off. They're like, I don't know if we want to deal with Howie right now. We ain't trying to get finessed like the Titans.
Hey man, I'm just like, yo, it is what it is. I love it. I'm all for it. I think you get to a point too where a lot of people were asking ridiculous things for guys, you know, and then Howie's like, you know, that's not how we move over here in Philly. You know, we'll make
Yeah, I
a
think they said
reasonable trade with you.
The
We're
dude
not
from
gonna move
Chicago, the corner that requested the trade, they were asking like a late first to an early second for him. And I was like, there was no way Howie was doing that. Now the Rasul Douglas for like a third or a late third or something, like I
wouldn't
might have swung
mind.
that one. I wouldn't have minded bringing Rasul Douglas back.
Me either.
That's ego. That's what that one is, y'all. That's ego. That's not one to admit that was a bad move to let him walk away. That's why that wasn't going to happen, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, you're right, because he shouldn't have walked away. I agree. We should have kept Rasul for real.
You know, me and you was on that Rasul train hard.
Yes.
But
That's when I
unfortunately,
said Wyatt posted. I was like, dang, I want a Rasul, man.
All right. I didn't even know he was available. Like, why wasn't Howie out here trying to get this dude?
old man in the building.
Oh
Hey,
man,
old
Mob,
man.
what's going on?
What's happening, man?
We chilling. We good, man. We good. We just out here doing it. And see, this is what you say when you get love. You got people that show you love, man. Already hit that like, but he didn't even wait to see what we talking about.
Right.
Just giving us that love. Appreciate that,
That's
old
what's
man.
up.
Straight up, man. Straight up. All right. So what else we got happening?
Yeah, just some other roster moves here. We officially brought Julio Jones up to the active roster. We brought him off the practice squad the past couple weeks. I believe you can only do it 3 times, so they officially brought him up to the active roster. And we also activated the 21-day practice window for Cam Jurgens. They're saying if everything goes right, we could possibly get him back for this Dallas game, which would be, I mean, Sua Opeta hasn't been terrible by any means, but Cam Jurgens, he was holding it down for those first couple weeks. We really need him back, which is going to be a boost for the run defense and also for the run game and also for the pass protection as well, which we really need right now with who knows how Jalen's banged up. But we signed a tight end EJ Jenkins to the practice squad, most likely because Calcaterra is out with a concussion, I believe. Grant Calcaterra. So we might actually be seeing Albert O here this week for the first time. He's probably going to dress.
Yeah, I told you about Calcaterra when we drafted him that those concussions had made him retire once before. So, I mean, I hope it's nothing, but I just, once you start having concussion issues, that's something that it doesn't normally get better.
Yeah. I mean, they even said that in the press conference. I believe Nick said that is they want to be extra careful due to the history that he has. So that's why I don't see them putting him on IR. I haven't seen anything about that. Probably just maybe 2 weeks or so, but we're probably going to get to see Albert O for the first time in game action. I don't know how much we're going to be seeing of him because, Dallas Goedert, that dude, when we decide to use him. But I mean, he'll be out there.
Actual.
What's up, Key? So Key says, "What's up, my people? What up, Key?
What's going on, Key?
What's happening, Key?"
Old man says, "Just share it on Twitter for you." Also appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Albert O in the red zone would be fired.
Big
That's what he
man.
says. So I hear a lot about this whole Albert O red zone, blase this and blase that, and it sounds cute. I'm gonna put it like that. But he's not even
He's like,
dressing.
I'm not convinced. He said, I could tell.
Yeah, he's not even dressing. Like, if he's nice like that, even
do it
in
out
a
there.
certain thing, why he ain't out there? He can't be. Calcaterra can't be that much better than him, can he? And if that's the case, then was this trade really a good idea? My whole thing with Albert O is, I saw what he did. I watched the tape. I get it, but can't do it in Philly. It's nice that he did it somewhere else, but can't do it here. You know, and if he can do it here, why hasn't he? But if it works, cool. If it doesn't, I'll be the first
You
one
know
telling
how
y'all.
this coaching staff is, though. They be giving some people some playing time and some starting time when they may not deserve it. I mean, their backups may be a little bit better. They don't want to realize that, or they don't want to admit that maybe they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that,
Looking at
Wyatt,
a certain running back.
speaking of that, pose a question to you guys as well as anyone in the chat who would like to answer. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Do it like this. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to pull up something that I need y'all to hear verbatim, word for word.
Pulling up. Uh-oh.
Nick Sirianni was asked about Kenny Gainwell. And I quote Nick Sirianni on Kenny Gainwell being running back 2 over Scott and Penny. Quote, there's things that you don't see. And he's our RB2 because he's the second best running back on our team. That's based on games. That's based on practice. That's based on the whole body of work. I didn't get this question when he pushed over 2 guys to get into the end zone last week, or when he played great in the playoffs last season. Hashtag Eagles.
I told you that touchdown that he had was going to keep him in that lineup. I told y'all. And look at this. I don't believe, like, I heard this in the press conference. I was like, this dude, like, how you going to treat Boston Scott like that? First off, we've seen this dude for years run all over the Giants and other teams, run as hard as anybody. And you saying Kenny Gainwell has better look, like he looked better on film and in practices than that? We know what Boston Scott can do. We haven't seen Kenny Gainwell, reach any type of potential other than in the playoffs last year. So it's like, I just don't understand this at this point, man. Like, why is he getting this many touches?
Gainwell has not gained well in our game, besides that one lucky touchdown that he has gotten. I'm not understanding when you're using him in those certain plays that you see that he's not even able to get much yardage. On top of he fumbled the ball. So you use Boston Scott for 1 play, maybe 2. And then you basically gave the ball more to Kenny Gainwell than we seen Swift. So I'm just trying to figure out what game did you see that us Philly Nation did not see that you think Gainwell should be number 2? I'm just Nick, is your pants too tight? Is it cutting off the circulation in your balls area? Is that what's going on? Because I don't get it. I don't understand. Boy can't even get 7-8 yards on with 2 yards left. Like I'm not understanding. He's not able to bounce back. He's not able to juke. He's not cutting through any holes. He's not following his blocks. He's not doing any of that. So I'm just trying to figure out, while we keep using him, we might get a yard or 2, or he gets pushed back, or they'll snuff out the run play, and he's just not productive. Like I don't understand.
He was better when he was limited, like last year when you had Sanders, Scott, and then Gainwell. When Gainwell was coming in on those limited reps, that's when he was able to break off something around the outside, or we saw him catch a couple passes, this game. But like, I think it would just work better as that third back if you're actually rotating them how you should be rotating, which they're not. I mean, we're going full quarters without seeing Swift.
Yeah.
Like, why? This is our main
now you're
back.
tripping.
He's getting like 5-6 yards a carry. why are we barely seeing this dude? Like in the first half alone, we're barely seeing this guy at all. I mean, we're seeing him in the second half of a decent bit, but you're not using him when you should be using him. Like we're getting down by 7-10 points when you should be running that ball. We should have been up 7-10 points. Like I just don't understand why they refuse to go with the run game at this point when it was so strong and it works for you. It just blows my mind.
Swift is he's more of a hard runner. Like he can bulldoze people down. He know how to jump over people. He know how to hit the hole and go. And when he hits that hole and go, my man is out. Like he chunks them legs. So I'm not understanding why are you not using your best running back when he's proved to this team that he should always be number one. He should always be getting the ball more than anything. Okay, in my opinion, you need to use Boston Scott way more than Gainwell like you did last year. Use Boston Scott, then use Gainwell. Not the other way around. By no means. And Boston Scott should be using a lot of those short yardage plays because he can run better on short yardage plays than Kenny Gainwell. Then you had a nerve to have him receiving. Like you really gonna make this man go halfway down the field and then try to throw it to him and wonder why he ain't catch it. Who called that play?
Straight up, like seemed like they were forcing the ball to him after that fumble. Like they were purposely like, we gonna get you the ball more, especially through the air. I was like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
and
doing?
With Swift fumbles, you don't see him for the rest of the half. Ironic.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, the part that makes me very nervous is the part where he says he's our running back 2 because he's the second best running back on our team. That's based on games, practice, on the whole body of work. I'm not at practice. This is true. But I'm watching every game. And with the opportunities that he's got, and this is all that he's given us, you can't tell me that Boston Scott can't give you that or more. If Boston Scott can't give you more than Kenny Gainwell right now, you need to release him and go find somebody who can. Because Gainwell is not operating like a number 2 running back. And Diva hit it perfectly. Why do you have this guy out there like he's a number 1 running back, like he's a 1B? I'm at the game, y'all. I am sitting amongst a mixed group of Commanders and Eagles fans. That's what everybody's saying. They look down there, they see 14. Guess what the Commanders say? Oh, we got a shot. It's like, it's going to probably either be like a screen or a running play to him because they don't put him in the game unless they're going to, get the ball to him.
Exactly. Predictable.
All the Eagles fans are like, why is Boston Scott not again? Why is Swift not running more? Is he hurt? Everybody knows, I got the hat on. I'm talking to people for the game. Everybody knows the show. Everybody. So they asked me, I'm like, no, he's not hurt. They just got this thing where they have this hard on for Kenny Gainwell. So for me, man, I need an explanation. I need video proof. I need the breakdown. I need the statistical numbers. I need all of that for you to try to convince me that you truly believe Kenny Gainwell is the second best running back on his team. Now, is he a great change of pace? Yes. Is he a guy you put every once in a while, do some gadget plays and different things with? Yes. Is he a guy that you try to have be your every down back, every other drive?
No.
Bishop Boolman can say it best. H no to the no.
Yeah, and they're barely rotating them. Like it seems like they keep one running back in for each drive, where it's like you should be rotating them. Keep the defense guessing. And the other thing is our defense is constantly seems like they're switching up. I mean, due to injuries, we have to, but other than that, they're kind of putting guys in certain positions, to succeed. Where it's like the offense, we're not seeing any adjustments really whatsoever. Like, I mean, even week to week as far as game plan, but like they're not even trying to see what else would work. Like they're not even trying Boston Scott in there as that second running back, and which is like a little concerning. Like, do you really think there's nothing wrong with this run game? Like, you can't be that oblivious.
I guess what bothers me is you have film from last year to go back and look and see how you use Boston Scott and how he was a big player of that team of why we got to where we were. So I'm not
Mhm.
understanding why nobody is going back to look at, especially the offense, look at film to figure out what worked, especially in the red zone. I'm sick of us getting to this red zone and we cannot push it in unless we're doing tush push. I'm sick of it. Like that, it is no creativity in the red zone
Or even just give
at
the
all.
ball to Swift. Let him run up the middle. Or like we saw, like they finally did like an out route on the off, like kind of off the tush push a little bit. They had like a little variation of it. But like, why aren't you just doing this in the red zone in general? Running the ball. Like you running it with Kenny Gainwell for some reason in the red zone, who's a
No, he
tiny
ain't going
back.
nowhere.
Yeah, you know he isn't going to go anywhere. I mean, at least with Boston Scott, yeah, he's a little smaller, but he runs a hell of a lot harder. He's going to be busting through that line. Where Kenny Gainwell, he's like miles back there. He was struggling, trying to find a hole, like he's waiting, like he's hesitating. It's like, dude, he is not the right guy in these situations. Just because he went off in the playoffs last year doesn't mean he deserves that 1B running back spot by any means.
If what you're doing in practice is not carrying over to the game, practice doesn't matter to me. I don't care what you do in practice among your team members. I want to see what you're going to do against the other team, the op. And you're not doing anything. Not a thing. You got one touchdown, and then you fumbled the ball at the red zone.
I want to channel Diva for a minute. Practice.
We talking about practice?
Not a game.
Practice.
Not the fumbles in the games. Not the missed opportunities. Not hitting the holes right. Not getting yards in the games where it matters. But we want to talk about practice.
Yeah. Are you keeping it in just because he can pass block a little bit for you? That's it? Is that the only big thing? Is he better than Swift at pass block, and that's the only reason?
If he is better at pass blocking, Swift needs to go to Pass Blocking Academy today.
Yeah.
I watched Kenneth Gainwell in that game because while I was there, I was like, I'm going to watch Gainwell. I'm not saying he doesn't pass block at all, but it's very minimal. If that's all that, if Swift can't even do that, Swift needs to go to a boot camp for pass blocking.
Yeah. And what's he doing in practice that we're not seeing? Like, because I can imagine in practice, knowing the Eagles, where they're not going like 100% all the time. Like we're barely in pads. Exactly. So of course he's going to look amazing to y'all when you guys are barely going against the defense. You're not hitting, you're not in pads or whatever. So like, how are you going to judge off of that? It doesn't make any sense. And then because if you're not judging off that, then you're going off of film, and I don't know what film you're watching that makes him deserve that spot.
Last year. They watched that little bit of, that's the only film they watching is that part of Gainwell.
Kenny Gainwell, yeah.
They are drinking heavily as they watch that.
Gainwell got some dirt on somebody. On Nick or somebody. Or Brian Johnson or what?
I think a Whiteside has something for years. So Key in the building says, ooh, not this blasphemy, right? So old man says, oh boy, someone's going to get cooked. Key says Kenneth does not gain well.
He does not.
Which we all agree on. Old man says, I guess Kenny is your team version of Parker Mac Jones, a player you just want to go away. And then Key says, laugh out loud, Mac Jones. Just to give y'all a little insight, a little back story on that. So when I did 7,200 seconds with Key, old man was, on there with us as well. And he tried to get everybody to trade for Mac Jones.
Last week he's on the show trying to get rid of Devontae Parker. So
hey,
somebody else each week.
Y'all can send them over there to the Raiders. They need some help.
Key says Swift needs a Robin and Gainwell ain't it. Oh my sister. Testify.
I think Boston Scott would be great. Or, you have somebody else that's on the roster that's getting paid that doesn't even dress for games.
And
we ain't even seen him at all. We ain't seen him at all.
I ain't even fooling with that mess no more. E-Money says, put me on your pockets with Spawn about it. And then Key says, practice. But nah.
It's wild, man.
Nick, you need to get your hair out of your ass. Whatever it is that you're sniffing, smoking, drinking, you need to put that down. And you need to get your mind right. I'm not saying that there's no areas where you use Kenneth Gainwell. But Swift was brought in. Swift was put number 1 on the depth chart for a reason. Let him do what he does. Work in Boston Scott. Scott, you put Scott in that game, he's going to show you what he can do. That's why you won't put him in the game, because you don't want him to prove that he should be the number 2. And that's trash, and that's sad.
Yeah.
That you're
why
so
we
stuck
not
on Gainwell. That's trash.
We used to switch them out so we could have a fresh back so they're not getting ran out. So I'm not
Oh, we do
understanding
switch him
why-
out.
No,
Swift
we're
only
not
gets
talking
in.
about, no,
Swift only gets in 3 or 4 plays, and then he gets switched out. So we are switching out.
That's what I'm talking about. No. Okay. No. Talking about using Swift and then using Boston and then using Gainwell like we used to do. Not
Because, as our coach said, we can't do that, Diva, because Kenneth Gainwell is our number 2 running back. So we can't put him in 3rd because he's the number 2 running back on the team.
kids don't do cocaine. It's one hell of a drug. Okay.
It is. I don't know what Nick's thinking. Like they
So-
really need, after this game this week, they really need to take this bye week and reevaluate this whole team, but this whole offense. Like what
Nick-
you guys are thinking.
Nick, for that comment that you made, this is what I have to say to you.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And also, this.
What is your name? I told you. It doesn't matter what your name is.
You know what? I'm starting to think that Nick is calling them plays in the first half. And BJ
It
is
looked
calling
like
them
he was
plays in the
calling them
second
at one
half.
point in the game.
I'm telling you, because you notice the difference between it's always the second half where we seem to catch on.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Nick be calling them plays in that first half, y'all. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I hope not. I certainly
I'm
hope not.
telling you.
Why are you doing it like that? I don't know.
And this right here, this is for Key.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
That was my reaction watching the press conference. I was like,
Right.
you gotta be kidding me. This dude did not just say this. Kenny Gainwell going in here messaging fans during halftime.
And it
Like,
was
this dude's
confirmed. it was
soft.
him.
Yeah, he confirmed it was him too.
Yeah.
So Key says in the voice of Mr. Mackey, drugs are bad, okay?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Don't do drugs, I'm going.
Don't do
Okay.
drugs. Okay.
So y'all,
Infuriating.
I have to bring it back so we can get to our other stuff. I have to breathe it out. I
Yeah,
got
we
my
mad about
candle.
that Kenny Gainwell now. I'm telling you.
I got my candle. I'm trying to blow some of the. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, calm it down a little bit. Relax it down a little bit, just a little bit. All right. So let me get us back on track. I apologize for taking us off track. I don't apologize actually.
No, he deserves
Wyatt,
it. Kenny
any
deserves
other, and Nick deserves more because he's the one behind this crap.
Exactly. Exactly.
Any other Eagles news for us to discuss?
Yeah, I mean the last one I have here is just another boy one player of the week, and it's QB1. Jalen Hurts out here with 319 passing yards and 4 touchdown passes, and it was enough to get him player of the week in the NFC.
And we did forget to shout out number 11 for getting it last week.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got to say,
And number 11
Oh.
for breaking the record.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number
And
11.
he's really staying in pace to be right in that group with him and Cheetah. He right there behind
Mhm.
Cheetah.
Mhm.
2K.
He gonna
2K
get it.
always open.
He gonna,
We about to get 2K.
You're gonna have to change that handle.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need it to be 2K always open. 11 after this season.
Mhm.
All right. So we're going to move on to the recap.
Mm.
Man.
Y'all go for it.
Go ahead, Wyatt.
Oh, you want me to go? What was Desai thinking this week? First off, like how you gonna have that showing? Your defense gonna hold the Dolphins You know, the team that had the most receiving yards and then rushing yards in games and everything. How you gonna hold them to 10 points? And you let Sam Howell and these Commanders come out and smoke y'all on defense every which way. They were running over us. They were definitely passing over us. He only missed like 4 throws in 3 quarters. It's like, what are you doing out here? The middle of the field wide open, sides wide open because Ballberry had his worst game of the whole season. James Bradbury did not look great at all, man. He looked terrible in this one. I don't know. I'm hoping it was just a 1-game thing. Kevin Byard, I mean, I didn't get to see. He was in there the whole time. He played every snap on defense. I didn't really notice him too much, but I mean, even him was saying like it was a short week, but that's no excuse for us to come out and have a showing like that. But you know, it's going to get better. Reed Blankenship didn't look great either, but until he had that interception, which kind of made up for it. But man, we were just getting sliced and diced every which way, and they just had no answer for it until around in that 4th quarter. I don't know if you noticed, it looked like they pulled Dean. It looked like Nakobe got pulled out the game in that 4th quarter because I didn't see him much. They were playing Morrow and Cunningham at linebacker, and it seemed like that's where things kind of started picking up a little bit. We were getting those stops. Ricks was flying around. Who was the other safety that we have that was flying around? Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown was, man, he looked great. I mean, he didn't look great the past couple weeks. There wasn't too many bright spots on that defense, though, other than a couple big plays. But, I mean, the offense did exactly what it needed to do. I mean, obviously, it got started a little later than we wanted because I feel like we should have been coming out here firing on all cylinders. But once we got going, Jalen was commanding that offense.
We weren't firing. We were just fumbling the ball at the goal line.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, and then they're like, Kelsey even said the ball didn't even get into Jalen's hands on the brotherly shove into the end zone. Everybody thought it was a Jalen fumble, but he didn't even get the ball. Like didn't even get to his hands. It was just a bad snap, which is unfortunate, which you can kind of give him a pass because we rarely ever see that out of the brotherly shove, but it's definitely not great coming out of a fumble previous in the red zone, So, I mean, we got to stop with these turnovers somehow. I just don't understand why all of this is coming up all of a sudden. Like it was Jalen fumbling and throwing interceptions before, and now it's just like the running backs and just some weird freak plays that are happening. It's like we just cannot get over these turnovers for one reason or another. I just don't understand it. We were seeing a little bit more creativity on offense this week, though. They were dialing up some stuff we haven't seen before. I feel like they were running a little bit more RPOs, but they're running a lot more single set shotguns than I would like we mentioned last week. Like Jalen's just behind there by himself way too much. We need to have a running back or somewhere back there with him just in case for RPOs, especially with his knee. Because, I mean, we saw in this game, he doesn't look like halfway through. He's had trouble rushing up that line to get that play off before Ron Rivera was able to challenge it. He did not look great, but I mean, it seems like it's not an issue still. I mean, he walked out of a press conference today because they asked him about it because he mentioned before, I'm not answering any more questions. But I mean, he's not on the injury report. So I guess the Eagles are just fine with it. They're saying it was a bone bruise. It just got to take some time to heal. They were saying it took like an hour of just kind of working his knee out after the game just to get it right before he was able to get to the press conference. So hopefully after this game going to the bye week, it'll help him get a little bit healthier. But man, it was rough. It looked like we were going to take one of the jaw in this game. Like I was prepared, like, all right, this is going to be probably the worst game of the season. We thought the Jets was going to be, but then man, Jalen Hurts in the face of adversity is able to come out here and pull off some crazy stuff. And AJ Brown just solidify himself as a top wide receiver in the game.
So Keith says he wasn't thinking, Wyatt. Laugh out loud, talking about Sean Desai. Then she says,
I don't know.
Bradbury was stuck on breakfast toast.
Straight up.
Burnt all game. Burnt. You hear me? I mean, he was that black burnt. Where you can't even eat the toast.
Yeah.
That's how burnt he was.
That's terrible.
Maybe put him back in the slot for a week or so.
I mean, I think they need to switch positions. He needs to go back to his old position on the outside and need to put Ricks over there because it's not working out for Bradbury right now. He was burnt toast last game. It wasn't as bad as this game. But he hasn't been having no good games here this season that I could say. They've been all right, but these last two have been horrible. Mm-hmm. It seems to me that Desai doesn't know how well the Jets game he did good. I don't know if he can't figure out Commanders' defense. I mean, their offense, because I don't know what was going on there with that. The plays was all over the place. The field was wide open. Oh, there go our boy, Anthony.
Yeah, we got to stop and shout out Big AC.
What's happening?
AC hits us with the good evening. This is the West Coast talking. That's good evening. My eagleization is in full effect. Cowpoke week.
It is. It is.
Oh, AC, we're gonna get to that AFT in a few minutes here.
Oh, you know.
We're
But
gonna get to the Arkansas football team real fast.
yeah, it was horrible, man. That defense was horrible. Besides at the end, you had Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat. Don't get enough credit because my boy right behind Michael Parsons, like he got 35 pressures, 5.5.
And that's why Jalen Carter got hurt early in the game, and they set him out the rest of the game. So that's one of the reasons why that defensive rush was not what it normally is.
Well, where's Noah Smith? Anybody seen where's Noah Smith? Where's
he was over there chilling with Jalen Carter. They was talking about college.
No, we don't need for him to be chilling. We need that boy on the field.
I saw the snap
that's
count
on
percentages.
That's on Decido because I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's on the side. I feel you.
I saw the snap count percentages up like for these first 8 weeks, and Derek Barnett is out snapping Nolan Smith.
Why is Derek Barnett?
I never even see this dude on the field. This dude has zero effect on the game whatsoever. Get Derek Barnett the hell out of here. Put Nolan Smith in there.
Why?
And AC says, okay, cool. And then Key says, AC, what's up? And then AC says, hey, Key. So yeah, we just want to, hit the chat.
But,
our fam talking over there, so we got to make sure we highlight that. What else you got, Dave? I know you ain't finished. You still scrunched. You still over there talking about.
Because that defense was just, man, I was just like, man, like Sam Howell looks like dang on Tom Brady out this mug. You know what I'm saying? Like it was barely, besides the end of the game, it was minimal pressure on Sam Howell. He was able to throw the ball where he wanted. He was able to run the ball. He was able to get short passes, long passes, and we was just out there all over the field. I know one play they asked Slay what happened. He said that they was expecting a quick throw. So they were playing man. And I'm like, come on, y'all. You got to be smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be prepared for the quick throw, and then when he's not going to throw the quick throw. You know what I mean? The thing is, if y'all would have pressured him enough, then he probably would have did the quick throw, because when Sam get pressure, then he going to throw the ball real quick. So I didn't understand what was going on with the defense, but I'm glad we tightened up a little bit at the end. The offense did better. I still didn't like the fact that Jalen was running around for his life a little bit out there, limping. I mean, you see the boy limping, that means you need to run the ball. Run the ball, y'all.
We have running backs.
I'm not understanding why my boy is throwing 37 times. 37 times. Every game, he is throwing over 30 times a game. He's a good thrower.
But when he's
injured, please, you need to save him. He does not need to be throwing. He run the ball. Run the ball. RPO, short passes, dump off, something. Like, come on, y'all.
Because it's becoming too predictable at this point in time. Like, it's not sustainable for a whole season of just passing.
No, man, he gonna get toe up. That's why he got a bone bruise as it is now. So you have to protect him to make sure that we can ride this season out, because we don't need him to get hurt in the middle of the season, the end of the season. Like, we need Jalen. So y'all gotta do something.
Marcus Mariota comes in the game, I'm going to tell you now.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
That's a wrap.
Rapsy Scapsy.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap
in there.
Man, y'all better put Tyler McKee in there. I'm telling you.
I would much rather see McKee in there
and be at that head office and talk to Mr. Lurie. Like, yo, my man.
So Key has a good question for us. Key says, do y'all think Desai still doesn't know his players and where they go?
No, I don't think he knows the strength of his players yet.
I think part of it is Desai, but I think the other part of it is just the players just messing up. I just feel like it's just on the players too at some point, because sometimes it just doesn't look like they're even where they need to be, or they just, like, specifically on that one touchdown, I feel like Reed Blankenship should have dropped back when he didn't, like, to get into the end zone to protect, and he just didn't for some reason. And I don't know, I feel like some of these players are just missing some of their coverages or just getting burnt in general. I don't think it's all on the side, but it definitely doesn't help as far as game plan. But the execution needs to be there.
All right. AC says, preach, Diva, preach. Keith says, run the dang ball.
You have
I mean,
to.
really.
You know you can. You have the best O-line in the game. Why are you
Joseph
not
want to
running
use
the ball?
Gainwell.
Joseph Foster says, cow boys.
Arlington football team. Yeah,
Basically.
them.
Rob Carter said,
What's
what's
up,
up,
Rob?
everyone? Rob,
What's
what's
up, Rob?
up?
Yeah, that's another
And
thing going
then-
against Gainwell is like we have
Yeah.
the best run, offensive
No,
line
thank
in the
you, Marcus.
game.
Jay says, so
No, thank you.
Straight up.
We have the
So
best
let me give
offensive
y'all-
line in the
go
game,
ahead,
and you
Ryan.
can't have Kenny Gainwell run that well behind it. Like if he can't run behind this O-line, you know something wrong. You know that's not a running back that should be your running back too. If he can't run behind this O-line.
Let me give y'all some perspectives from someone who I was happy to be at this game. There was a point in the first quarter where the Commanders took out the entire starting defensive line. And you know how many times we ran while their whole and starting defensive line was on the side?
0.
Big fat zero. So Byard was out of place a lot of the game. The Commanders used what they learned from our first matchup. They timed the rush, and Howell got rid of the ball before the rush got there. Howell was getting. I will say this: Diva's a UNC football fan. I'm not a UNC football fan, but I do like Sam Howell because I like quarterbacks that can evolve. Sam Howell was getting rid of that ball faster than I've ever seen him get rid of that ball. And it's hard for you to see it on TV, but live, you hear hype. That ball is caught. It's one read, that ball is gone. So he was making sure that unlike the first game, the Eagles were not going to be able to get a lot of pressure. And then Jalen Carter getting hurt in the first quarter did not help that pass rush because it took away a dynamic player. So it tightened up the
And Jordan
rotations.
Davis was in and out.
Yeah, guys had to play more, and then Davis had to go in and out sometimes. They had to try to keep him fresh. A lot of the plays that Jordan Davis weren't in, that's when they tried to run or go in the middle with the short passes. Also, the first half, the body language of the Eagles is not right. Like it just was like if you saw them before the game, you saw them before halftime, their body language just did not look right. Whatever that situation was, at halftime it got corrected. And they came out looking better. A lot of people were frustrated that were Eagles fans about Gainwell playing. A lot of the Commanders fans were happy that he was playing more. It tells you all you need to know. Another team's happy the guy's in there. Tells you all you need to know.
Right.
So a couple of comments here. Diva mentioned this one, but James says, no, thank you, Marcus. Keith says, is Cam the reason we're not running? Somebody better be.
Oh.
Somebody got some explaining to do.
If not, run the other way. Run the opposite
Yeah.
direction. Run to the left.
So James says,
Exactly.
I'm a Gainwell fan. Everyone has ups and downs. James,
Well, we
I
are
can
too.
I
We
can
just saying
respect that.
Gainwell shouldn't be number 2. He hasn't
But
done
yeah,
anything to
he's-
be number 2.
He's
all.
way more down and up right now.
Yeah.
And then James says we've been a second half team. So James,
We have
that
been.
is true. But here's the problem when you're playing again. If our goal is just to get back to the playoffs, maybe win a game, go further than the Cowboys, and look at the Arlington football team, like, we got further than you in the playoffs. What we're doing is going to be fine. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. It's not going to be fine. We've got to find ways to be better offensively and defensively in the first half, mainly offensively. We're not putting up enough points in the first halves. We're like this game, we left 14 points on the field. That's a big difference. When you're playing Cincinnati, when you're playing the 49ers, they look bad now, they're going to figure it out. When you're playing the Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? When you're playing the better teams, the Bills, these teams, this is not going to work. So that's where my frustration is because I want us to start to do things to trend towards moving to being the best we can by the end of the season. And we're not at the end of the season, I get that. But once we come off this bye,
We halfway.
it gets really, really real.
Yeah.
We come off
Hardest
this bye.
schedule out of anybody in the league.
We're looking
Realest
at
in the
Kansas
field.
City. We're looking at Buffalo. We got Dallas and Commanders last week, Dallas this week. And that Commanders game was hard. Like the first half, the Commanders really thought they was going to win. I mean, they had their chest out. They was bloviating. They was talking smack. They was
Shit,
like,
I thought they were going to win in that first
I
half.
know
Like,
so we was able to pull it out, but that was a hard win. Don't get it twisted. He says disrespectful.
It was.
Yeah, it was disrespectful, but we figured it out. But we have to start moving toward, let's get this thing going early. Let's figure this out earlier. Let's make the adjustments sooner. That's the concern. And in that second half, Terry McLaurin catches one of those last 2 balls that he literally just dropped wide open. We have a different conversation right now.
yeah.
And that's 100% true. So a lot to clean up, but we won the game. That's the most important thing. So we'll do this together, y'all, just so we can save ourselves some time to talk about this game with this Arlington football team coming up. And AC, I did say bloviate. I did, sir. I did. All right, so player of the game and we gotta do it separately.
Weakest link.
Fast. Yeah, we gotta do it separately because I got to put up the team. So let's go weakest link first. Weakest link. Who y'all got for weakest link? What you got, Wyatt?
Bradbury. Ball bear.
Ooh,
All right, but Diva got
that's a
ball
good
there.
one. I'm just gonna say the whole damn defense, man. I'm sorry, but I got to. That whole damn defense.
I'm gonna go Byard, but it's because he didn't know, and they had him play too much without him knowing. But I have to go Byard. From seeing
That
it,
makes sense.
because I watched them a lot. All right, and then our elite performance of the game. What you got, Diva?
I'm gonna go with Jalen.
We got Wyatt.
Yeah, QB1, man. I'm gonna stick with the same.
I'm going to unstoppable offensive weapon number 11.
You mean
AJ Brown.
You mean
How could you
half man,
not?
half beast? I mean, half man, half beast. That boy, elite. You hear me? Elite.
That man is not half man and half beast. That man is 1/3 man, 1/3 robot, 1/3 beast.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Dude
Well,
is out
I'm
here doing things that I've never seen. Like
Half
this dude
beast,
one hand
half
and catches
amazing.
on the side. like
He brought
how?
that cow
saw
with
that.
Johnson back.
Listen, I was on the sideline that happened on, and I want to explain something to you. That looks so sick in person. It looks so sick. They showed the
Oh, I
replay
know.
like 7 times. Like they was trying to get the flag out and everything, but there's nothing to get out.
No.
Mm-mm.
And you
Like
know
you
what's
said.
funny? When Kelsey came down there and reenacted it.
Dude barely got off the ground with that jump.
Key with another nickname calls him the cyborg.
Boring. I've been
Yeah.
seeing Mega John.
Yeah, Mega Jones.
Whatever y'all want to call him, I just call him number 11 because he one of them people is just a number. You know what I'm talking about when I say number 11. Number 11.
Hey, if you don't know who
QB1
number
is
11
number
is in
11.
the NFL, I'm wrong.
Somebody, you better ask somebody if you don't know.
You better ask.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen,
Julio got that touchdown. Like we didn't mention that. Like it was cool to see Julio get a touchdown grab.
Yeah,
was
man.
nice.
He got
It
hit
was
too.
nice.
Yeah, that was a risky throw, but that was a bullet Jalen threw into there to him.
Mhm.
So Arlington football team fans, my pettiness is here. Let's go.
Here we go right now. We got a kicker with a
The
pick.
Indianapolis Colts have traded the 49th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. To announce the Philadelphia Eagles selection, please welcome from the University of Louisville, kicker David Akers.
What's up, Dallas?
Kicker's trolling the Cowboys.
Last year. I like standing up here before you as an undrafted free agent, representing that shield for 15 years. Tonight, I'm representing the Philadelphia Eagles, NFC East champs, divisional champs, NFC champs, and world champs. The world champs. Hey, Dallas, the last time you were in the Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't born. Woo! Tonight, we are welcome into the Eagles
Look at Doug
family
Peterson.
with the 49th pick in the 2018 draft. now would like to represent the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Goedert. He is the tight end from South Dakota State. Go Birds!
Gotta love David Akers, man.
Now that's an Eagle for life.
Yes,
That was great.
always.
That's an Eagle for life. That warms me deep inside. That gives me pleasure and happiness when I remember this. And keep in mind, this was 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So these draft picks now, they don't even know about Dallas being in there except from old VHS tapes their parents have.
This fool said VHS.
With that last VHS
Blow the
player,
dust
they
off
use,
them before you
they use
play
the VHS cleaner on so it still works. I know what I'm talking about. This is the only way they can see it. That's why I know that they got them. But we have the game of the week, 425, nationwide game. Everybody watching. Us against the dirty Arlington football team. Diva, we're going to start with you. What we got to do to win this game?
We definitely got to play better football, period. We definitely got to play some defense. Like, we really have to play defense. We have to shut Dak down. We most definitely have to put pressure on Dak because we know he apple turnover, you get that pressure. We need actual pressure. You know what I'm saying? The whole game. We have to stop the running game as well. You got to watch CB Lamb and Gallup because they are going to be out there. And as far as the offense, run the ball. Run the dang on ball down their throats until you can't run it no more. That tires out your defense, their defense, if you run the ball. Okay. Jalen is still dealing with an injury. We need to run the ball. We need to make plays and throws when we can and we know what's smart. We need to be creative and hold on to the ball in the red zone. Hold on to the ball, period. But hold on to the ball in the red zone for sure. Okay. And I think that's how we can win the game. And we already know AJ gonna get off. So that is what it is.
What do you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Diva said and exactly what Key was saying in the comments. Run the dang ball. We should be utilizing the run, open up the play action, and open up that pass game for us. We shouldn't be passing every single down on every single drive like we were before. And use Swift. I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole Kenny game. Well, we talked about him enough this episode. So use Boston Scott if you have to, but use Swift a majority of the time. Make it easier for Jalen as well. Like, develop that rhythm early, get some short passes, the screen game going and everything. But like Diva was saying, you got to put pressure on Dak. I was seeing that was it Tyron Smith, their offensive tackle for Dallas? He might be missing the game. So there's a weak spot on their offensive line right there. You gotta take advantage of that. And we've been relatively decent at not eliminating fully, but slowing down Micah Parsons. We've been pretty good at that over the past couple meetings with them. So we just got to keep doing what we were doing there, coming up with some creative plays, get the ball to AJ, get at the beast mode over here so we can get that yards after catch and get us a couple touchdowns. And I mean, Devontae was eating last week. I expect another big game for him this week. Julio's been in the lineup for a couple weeks now. He's on the active roster. Maybe they'll get him involved a little bit more in the game. Who knows? But the main thing is, you should be utilizing that run game and playing off of that. That way you can control the time of possession, because that's going to be the main thing with this. We know that Dallas can have a high-powered offense if you allow them to. So Desai got to come up with a decent game plan this time. I don't know if that's why we got a bad game plan against Washington. Maybe he was focusing on Dallas ahead of time, which you should not be. But after that terrible ass show and we saw last week, you need to come out here and show us something against Dallas in this big game. Because, I mean, they're 2 games behind us. We have a chance to put 3 games in between us going into this bye week, and we really need that. So, man, keep doing what you've been doing. We've been seeing an improvement with the offense over these past couple weeks. The defense is one we really need to look out for. And just because I said that, watch, our defense is going to come out and look great, and our offense is going to look bad for some reason. It seems like that's always the case somehow.
We can't never be on firing on all ends. Is that either one or the other?
We haven't had a complete game once this season.
Nope.
Yeah. So James Graves says Merrill Reese is my all-time favorite Eagle. That's what's up. I'm gonna have to go with B-Dog for my all-time favorite.
Oh yeah, B-Dog always gone.
And if I really want to go back, the
That's
Minister
what
of
I'm saying,
Defense.
James. That's
But
what I'm saying.
The only reason that I don't go with the Minister of Defense first is because that whole thing we had all those good years with Green Bay. It's the only reason I like him too. He says, "Oh, I meant to put it back up. My bad, y'all." James also says, "I like Swift, but I miss a LeGarrette Blount type back." They're supposed to be Rashard Penny, but
That's
they
what I'm
won't.
about to say. It's supposed
They
to be
don't-
Penny, but they don't want to play him.
Perfect dude
They
to
believe
use
in
in
Gainwell.
the red zone. Perfect guy to use in the red zone.
Perfect.
But because he missed he didn't block well in that first game against the Patriots, you're not going to use him anymore. Like, what are you doing?
You need a downhill running player, and he's one of those. And that's what
Yeah.
you use him for.
Bowling ball to beat.
Yes.
Use Swift
Just kept
in between
him.
the
You
20s.
should have just kept him. If you listen. That make me mad every time I think about it. I'm trying to tell you. You
Like,
should
use Swift in between the 20s, and as soon as you get the red zone, use Penny. It shouldn't be this hard. Like, you see how
But you
fast Swift is and how he
the fast thing is you can use Swift in the red zone too.
Well, you can,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying if they don't want to use him as much, like that much, if they don't want him to be the every down back,
They don't want
you
they don't
can
want to
do
go
that.
to anybody but Gainwell, who doesn't gain
Gainwell.
well.
Apparently, I don't know.
Gainwell, who doesn't gain well. That's all they care about.
but he does it in practice. That's what matters to Nick. He does it
He
in
does it on
practice.
film,
It
right?
doesn't feel. That's
This
just
is on
like
film.
if I was Boston Scott, I'd be so pissed after that
I
press
would too.
conference. Like, what am I? Like, what do you think I've been doing here these past couple of years? Like,
Man, I know one thing. We
Unbelievable.
played them Giants. Boston Scott better be the number 2.
oh, you know they
What I
will.
do
'cause
know-
Nick loves pandering to the Philly fans, so Boston Scott will get
Nick,
most
if you're gonna
touches
pander to us,
against the Giants
give Boston Scott the ball now.
Now,
Stop waiting, sucker.
right now.
because you know he
Now.
will.
Okay.
You know, as soon
For
as that
me.
Giants game rolls around, Boston Scott gonna be getting them touches.
For me, when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys,
Mm.
we gotta talk about their fans. So we gotta put their fans in this conversation too. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance, right? There's a lot of, oh, y'all played this team, we played that team, we beat that team by 20, y'all beat that team by 8. So we both won. What are you saying? So
Right.
here's the truth of this game. We can break down the X's and the O's. Y'all done a great job of that. I'll come to that. But the fact of the matter is, if you're a Lions fan, you want us to lose. If you're whoever thinks they're good in the South, you want us to lose. If you're a 49ers or Seahawks fan, you want us to lose. If you are a Vikings or you are a Lions fan, you want us to lose.
The South so bad you can even name nobody.
It don't matter.
Whoever,
They're so-
whoever think they're
They're
good,
so down right now. It don't matter.
whoever think they're good. No one likes us, and we don't care. We don't come on this show. We don't watch our games. We don't go to our games. We don't do these things wanting people to like us and say, oh, the Eagles are such a great team. As a fan base, we like being doubted. We like being picked against. We like you to not believe us. That's why we love Cowboys fans so much, because it does not matter. You believe you could get beat by 80 points and come back the next game and you're still the greatest team in all of existence of football. So playing you is a pleasure. Listening to your fans, again, I'm going to use it, AC, bloviate, haberdashery, and tomfoolery from their lips on a regular basis. Enjoy, it makes it happy for us. But on the field,
Oh, man.
RDP of the AFT doesn't perform the way that you believe he does in your mind.
This mug said RD.
The only person that can beat us is us. James just said it. The only ones
Mhm.
beating the Eagles is the Eagles if we don't play the way that we're supposed to play.
That's been the key for
Exactly.
the past 2 years, man. Eagles beat the Eagles. Right. Thank you, AC.
He said haberdashery.
Hey, AC, you know what that was. You know what that was, AC. You know.
You got me pulling out dictionaries on the show.
You know what I'm saying?
Hold on a second.
BS is the giant killer, James. I agree with that. And then also the only ones beating the Eagles is the Eagles. Yes, sir. So
That's the way it's been this whole season so far.
what the Eagles just need to do is go out and execute the game plan. BJ, you need to talk to your boy. Buy him some pants a size tighter, and maybe he can't focus. And then you can go ahead and do what you need to do.
The hemoglobin.
The hemoglobin of the 49ers is too high. That's the problem, AC. The hemoglobin too high. That what happened with the 49ers. They got to get the hemoglobin straightened out on their bye week.
They need some hard pills.
You know what I'm saying? They need some heart, some liver pills, some iron pills and stuff. But but we just have to make sure that we go out into this game and that we are focused, that we're executing properly, and that we make sure Bayer understands where he needs to be in the offense. And don't ever take your defensive quarterback out. The Kobe D is a defensive quarterback. There was some plays in the fourth quarter where he was out, but he actually was in more than you think.
Okay.
He just didn't see it because he didn't make a difference negatively. So you thought that he wasn't there. But he played a good amount. They did some hybrid things with the defense there. They did a little that interception, that was a bait. And I said we got to bait him. We got to bait Sam Howell. But some of the things he learned from the last encounter with us, so he didn't allow them to work again. But a lot of teams don't play us twice a year. And you think about how quick that turnaround was against the Commanders again.
Yeah.
But they had a chance to still have that overtime loss fresh on them. But we did get the sweep of them, so that's good. It's just 2 divisional games we won.
Top of that O-line, it held up for him too. Week before that, they was garbage.
Yeah, they made some changes to their O-line. Like I said, he was on a switch count. Like in his head, you can see he was dropping back 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, boom, 1,000, 2 1,000, boom. Like he was getting that ball out before that 3.5 seconds it takes to get there.
Yeah,
he was making sure that was difficult for us to do, which is what
it's like. Why aren't you playing up? Why aren't you pressing your dude when you know they're doing that? Like obviously, they're going to try to take some shots, but like it's the death of 1,000 paper cuts type thing when you're not.
But here's the thing, Wyatt. We talk about Bradbury being Burntberry already, right? So if you take that guy and you put him in press coverage, what's going to happen? It's going to be worse.
Maybe but that's where you got to trust your defensive line too.
But you also have to give help over the top and underneath.
Yeah.
So over the top help does need to occur. That needs to be Sidney Brown. That needs to happen.
Really good.
I mean, really.
But if you put him in over the top help, then you take him out of making those plays in the middle where he's been effective for us. So you kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. I think we need Ricks. We need Keeley to develop. We need those guys to be ready to come in and take some snaps. Bradbury just playing 2/3 of the game is a lot fresher. Slade is playing 2/3 of the game is a lot fresher than Slade and Bradbury playing the whole game at their advanced football age.
Yeah.
So we've got to get that going, and that's something that I would like to see the side work on and help institute through the bye week. I want to see after this game, win or lose, I want to see us take that week off. I want to see more Boston Scott.
I want to see them in the film. And in the film room, like I said, I need for BJ, Jalen, Nick, Boston, and we can leave Gainwell out. He don't need to be in there.
Yeah,
It's Swift. They need to go in there, lock the door,
in that room.
Move some furniture, and figure this thing out.
Figure it out.
And when I say figure it out, y'all know what I mean. When you start moving furniture and you figure it out, you know what I mean. But let's get it done. Nobody go at Jalen's knee, because we got to finish this season strong. But leave the game sit out, do some furniture moving, and figure this thing out.
Go watch film from last year, man, and figure out what you did that worked. That's it. You have the blueprint. You have the blueprint, man.
They won't do it. They don't want to acknowledge Steichen's effect on the offense from last year is why they won't do it. That's what I think.
But I mean, listen, we was getting that ball when we was at the red zone. We was getting it in there, man. You got to figure out a way, because we're not gonna make it if you cannot figure out how to get that ball in the red zone, man. We're not gonna make it. We just not
we're finding ways to get the ball down the field. But it's just for some reason, getting in the end zone is the hardest part for us when it shouldn't. You have all these weapons.
Man,
Julio's gonna be good, and apparently this Alberto guy, everybody claims is super hands, big body, gonna catch everything we throw at him. We're gonna see.
As long as Quez Watkins ain't out there, I don't care.
Yeah, he on IR. We don't have to worry about him for now, for a while.
Yeah,
Well,
But
for
he
the rest of the
better
season.
not be getting that Kenny Gainwell treatment when he comes back, though. I don't want to see him in that starting lineup.
he
Man,
was
I
getting
almost
that
get up
Kenny
up here.
Gainwell treatment too, wasn't he? Actually,
He was.
Gainwell is getting the
'Cause he's
Quez Watkins
fast.
Yeah,
treatment.
Gainwell
As a matter
getting
of
the
fact,
Chris Watkins treatment.
if we
Yeah,
really
'cause
want
he's
to talk
fast.
about it. But y'all, we're gonna do our preview show, of course, on Sunday. So if
Mhm.
you're tuning in, you see the replay Sunday. You know it's a 4:00 game. So what does that mean? 3 p.m. EDT. Us three special guests. We're gonna bring you that pregame show. We're gonna do a little bit more breakdown on this game, who's gonna win and why. And we're also gonna give you our score predictions. We're gonna dig into the meat and potatoes. We're gonna get to the juices and the berries of this game. And what I want y'all to remember for us is that no one does like us,
If we don't care.
and we don't and never have cared.
It never will.
Never
Shout out
will.
to Shady Sports Network. We're not playing the video today for Shady Sports. Shout out to Shady Sports Network. Make sure you check them out. They just hit 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? YouTube.com/@ Shady Sports Network. Check them out. All things football, arena, indoor football league, XFL, USFL, all that good stuff. They're covering all that. And as we have to do every week, for the first 2 times this year, Arlington football team.
No, you got
And just because we had to talk about Kenneth Gainwell quite a bit today, this is how fans feel about Kenneth Gainwell.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Right, can't do it.
That's how we
Can't do
feel
Can't
about
do
Kenneth
it.
Gainwell.
Can't do it.
That's not how they feel
Okay,
about it.
coach with
That's how we feel
Can't
about it.
do it.
That's great.
And just to top everything off, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Say it one more time. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
And AC hits us with the great show piece. Hey, appreciate it, AC.
Thanks for
Hey,
doing
you
that,
know,
man.
anytime you want to ride through with your
You
people,
hop on.
all you got to do is give me a holler or swallow. We got you, bro. All right, y'all. So we come to the end of the show. Wyatt, Diva, any shout outs before we go ahead and slide up out of here for the evening?
No, shout out hashtag be elite. We'll see y'all
Fly
Sunday.
Eagles fly.
Get ready.
Go birds.
Hey, WDRBmedia.com or your tuning app, WDRB Media, 12 noon Sunday, right before you get ready to play your early games. Check out your boy on Cool in the Game. And chill with. It'll be fun. I'm all alone, so there's nobody to stop me. And with that, we're out of here for the week.
Good. We'll see y'all
We'll see
Sunday.
y'all next week. Yes, sir.